Once you get these, once you harness them, once you put them into works, and then you do them, you will see every single dream, every single goal of yours happen. And it takes time, but it will happen. And that's what you got to do, believe. Hey guys, it's back to video 3. And this video, I think, is going to be such a good one because it is how to make every single goal, every single dream you've had, the ones you've been chasing, the ones you've forgotten about, how to make every single one of those happen. I'm about to show you how in 4 steps. But once you get these, once you harness them, once you put them into works, and then you do them, you will see every single dream, every single goal of yours happen. And it takes time, but it will happen. And that's what you got to do, believe. Whether you want to make $1 million by the time you're 30, whether you want to set up your YouTube channel, whether you want to own a Ferrari, like whatever your goal is, these 4 steps will not only get you to that point, they'll make you believe that you can chase after all your dreams. Not just 1, not just 2, but infinite amounts. So the first and most important step is that you have to see it and you have to envision it. So for example, if your goal is you want to make $1 million by 30, make sure you can see yourself doing it. Think about yourself when you're 30 years old and envision it. So if you've got £1 million, how are you going to be spending it? What's your house going to look like? Are you going to own a car? What kind of clothes are you going to wear? How is that £1 million going to fit into your life? You need to make sure you're envisioning the goals. And a way to do this, a way to help with it, is to have like a vision board. Those help so much. Literally just get a PowerPoint and put like dream me, or like me by 30 and put your goals, or me by 20 and put your goals. And because this is the most important, by envisioning it, you're basically manifesting it in your subconscious, because you're like, I can see myself owning that red Ferrari that I want in a few years' time. When you're envisioning it as well, set like a time target. Like, when do you want to have reached this goal by? So if you set up a vision board, make sure to talk about it with your friends and your family. When I've reached this, or if it's like healthy food, like I want to incorporate this. Or you can even plan it, like when you manifest, like, oh, well, I can plan my holiday to whatever nice country because by summer I will have already reached this goal. Like, assume that you're going to get it. Assume that. Have belief in the goal and the fact that you will chase that and you will get it, because you will. So that's step number 1, which is see it and envision your goal. But it also splits into 2 different branches, because we have the long-term envisionment, if that's even a word, the long-term visualization, and the short-term visualization. So you need to be able to see yourself, like I said, in the long term, by the time you're 30, or like in 6 weeks' time, or in 6 days' time, wherever you want your goal to be, the time target. But you also need to envision, and this is really, really important, because you can't get that long-term goal and you can't get that success from that goal if you haven't set your short-term goals. So making sure that you have that long-term goal vision, but then also bring it back to where you are now and think about, well, where am I going to put my goals to get to that point? You need to have short-term steps to get to your long-term goal. And that brings us on to step number 2. Step number 2 is starting to do those small steps. And those small steps are huge when it comes to chasing your goals, because those are the ones that are starting to make it from like a fantasy, a dream, and into reality, because you're actually taking action to go about and do them. So for example, like me, I'm starting my YouTube channel. Starting to post weekly is a small step that I'm starting to do. Starting to advertise on different platforms and stuff is a small step I'm starting to do. But it depends on your goal. Again, if you're trying to make £1 million by the time you're 30, your small steps could include applying to schemes where you know you can make money, finally starting up that business and trying to become viral off your like entrepreneurship idea. These short steps are just crucial to make sure you get your foot in the door. And also, once you start doing it, you become consistent. And that's the important secret ingredient, is you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you don't want it enough, basically. And if you want it enough, you'll be consistent. That also applies to romantic relationships, by the way, guys. And that brings us on to the 3rd one, which is consistency. Consistency. You might think it's so difficult juggling my part-time job and my YouTube ambition, but it will pay off. If you continue to be consistent, you continue to upload, or say you want to make $1 million by 30, if you can continue to do the little things to get you to that step. If you're putting in the effort to try and get there, if you're trying to make the contacts, your networking, to try and get contacts, to try and get you to financially support your investment, or invest in your product that you're trying to sell or market or advertise, or you're going on social media platforms, like bring attention to your product. All these things are small steps to you finally reaching your goal. And a big part of consistency as well is that you're enduring the ups and the downs. If it is a dream and you really, really want it, you have to have that like resilience in the face of adversity. Make sure that you want it enough. Take a really good look at yourself and be like, is this really a goal that I can see myself having? And is this a goal that I will shed blood, tears, and sweat for? And if you don't want it enough, then when it comes to the hard points, then you'll probably give up. And we don't want to give up on our goals. We want to chase them and make them happen. Okay, and the 4th and final step to chasing your goals and fulfilling every single one of them is, and I'm going to name it the last hurdle, because every single time when there's a goal, there will always be that final hurdle, and it's a test. Do you want it enough? And loads of people at this point are going to fail because it's like, oh, you know what? No, I'm just going to give up. Like, I put in effort, but you know what? It's not worth it. My dreams aren't worth it. You know, you need to be resilient. You need to be resilient to your core. You need to be able to go for the things you want to go for. Do it by silencing that voice that says, I'll give up. Like, don't give that voice a platform and keep going. And sometimes it shows up like a sacrifice. It's like, say you're trying to start a YouTube channel, and you realize like, oh, I really can't juggle my job and my YouTube. So I'm going to have to change something up. You might have to sacrifice your job to commit fully to a YouTube. You might have to sacrifice something that you think, oh my God, like, this is a lot. Like, this is shows my final commitment. But that is you passing that hurdle. You're showing yourself that you really want it. And so those 4 steps, envisioning your goal, long term and then short term, and then taking the second step, small steps to get to that long-term goal. You have to take those small short-term steps. And then the third one, being consistent. Being consistent is so crucial. That's something that most people can't do. They can't be consistent to get their goals, but it's crucial to fulfill them. And then the last step, and this is the big one, is overcoming that final hurdle. The hurdle where most people will fall or will fail and they will not pass, but you will, because you want to chase your dreams badly enough. And for those of you that aren't sure if you want it enough, you will know when you want your goals enough, because you feel like you're literally being pushed to do them, like, and they'll make you feel like alive. So, and using this 4-step method, it's simple, easy to remember, and it will definitely guarantee you results as long as you stick to it. But it can take time, because being consistent takes time. It's not an overnight process. But if there's anything I can say, is follow your goals, chase them, make them happen, earn that £1 million, become rich, become famous, whatever your goal is. Make it happen, and then comment down below when it does happen, and I'd love to hear about it.